think the top three things we're telling our clients for mobile is one, move quicker. It's been the year of mobile or the decade of mobile for a very long time, and I think that all of our different types of clients are trying to figure out how they're supposed to do mobile, right? From some clients are e-commerce and retail, and some are lead generation focused, and it's how do they do mobile, and mobile hasn't necessarily been cheap either, and now it's becoming cheaper to that. So I think it's number one is just move quicker. Is searches are moving dramatically towards mobile or tablet as well, and they have to adapt quicker. It's no more waiting. I think the second thing is to track more than just one thing. When you're on a mobile device, you can do more than one thing. So whether it's a sale or an email sign up or a call or whatever it may be, directions, store locator, track all of these things because I think they're all going to be important. And I think that the third one is just to test. Is that there's no way to know what's going to be work for you, and I don't think there's enough precedence to say, like there is for basic search, that this is going to work. It's going to work for everybody as long as you do a good job at it. For mobile, things are just different for every brand. There's going to be mobile search and mobile display and in-app and all these things, and it's going to vary by brand and how they perform. So test everything. I think the biggest challenges that our clients face, number one, is their experience. Is their experience good enough to really know what's happening, right? If the experience isn't good enough, you can't really track enough to deem that value. So I think that's the biggest challenge. I think a secondary challenge is for those people that have a mobile experience is understanding how to value some of these things that don't have a direct value. Filling out, on a computer, an email sign up, I think was one of the things that people started to count, other than a lead form or a sale, and people started to be able to assign a value. I think now on mobile, it's going to be how do you value somebody looking for directions? How do you value somebody calling, and could they be calling your store, or are they calling customer service, or are they calling to buy something? I think it's how to really value those is important too. Yeah, so for a handful of clients we are. I think that for two of our ideally, as well as Guild City, they both have apps, they both have mobile stores, they both have multiple conversion paths. So for them, we're tracking all of it, and we've done a lot of analytic work with them to understand that end value. So the more important thing is what do you want to get them to do from there, and then kind of working backwards. From a lead gen perspective, one of our clients, the Service Master brands, Terminex and TrueGreen and them, it's not so much about their locations. It's really about the location of the searcher and looking for, do they have a provider in that area, and then providing that local experience, but then understanding that people are going to want to call, they're going to want to fill out a form, and understanding what the user behavior is after that. So we've helped them to kind of, once again, look at the things that are happening up front and what they're resulting in the end. Tommy Bahama is actually really interesting because they have stores, and they also have restaurants too. So for them, we're trying to test all of these different channels. I don't think there's exact numbers yet of what that direction person who's looking for directions, how much they convert in the store. But we've tried offer extensions, trying to do some in-store redeemable coupons. I think that's part of the challenge. Is one of the things that in order to tie it, you have to have something to tie it, and typically it's going to be a coupon or an offer. And when you're dealing with some brands that don't like that, like Tommy Bahama or Hugo, that aren't Hugo Boss or Theory, that don't typically discount, how do you tie the two? So, and it's typically has to be some offer. There has to be some reason for the consumer to tell you that oh, I got this, I found you online, or whatever it may be. So it's trying to work that into the different brands as some sort of offer extension type idea, or even phone call tracking. So one of the things we've set up with some clients is set up separate phone numbers for your stores that we can track to know how many phone calls our campaigns are driving. So you have your separate store phone number, but have our own that we track. So on Google, there's pretty much one phone number that you use for that certain locations on Google, so we can measure how many of your total calls to stores are coming from them. We have a handful. I think Ideally has done a great job of a combination of advertising their site and the app. I think that's one great thing that we've seen is we've been able to measure all of those different channels and understand for certain keywords or certain times of day or day of week, which is better. When is it better to advertise for the app and when is it better to advertise for the site? We've seen some interesting results with Guild City that we work with, and just kind of, especially from a geo-targeted standpoint, everything that they're doing is very, very local, and I think that's really where mobile is going to go. It's not so much about that I'm in New York, it's about that I'm on 14th Street and 11th Avenue, and what's my intent for being on 14th Street and 11th Avenue? Is it the morning? Okay, show me coffee shops. Is it the afternoon? Where can I go to lunch? Or is it, the evening? Where's the best place to go at night? So it's really gonna, I think, be about that too. There's a million studies out there about the first thing that people do in the morning is they wake up and grab their phones and their alarms, and then the last thing that they do at night is do something on their tablet. I think the next biggest thing is tying it all together. I think that with Google Enhanced campaigns coming out, the real point of it is that it's not a one device world anymore, it's a multi-device world, and we're gonna have to tie them all together. Right now there's not enough credit that's being given probably to some of the efforts that we're putting forward, or any of the people out there that are putting forward, because I wake up in the morning and for the first couple hours I'm on my phone, and then the next couple hours I'm on my computer, and then and then later that night I'm on my tablet, and there's no way or there is a way, but there's not a great way of connecting it all right now. And I think that is, in a sense, the holy grail is following a consumer throughout their daily life and understanding that in the morning when I'm researching a restaurant that I'm going to go to that night or the next day, but I book it on my tablet, the advertising that was done on the mobile phone is probably not getting the credit, and the tablet device is, when it's really the mobile device that drove it. So I think that's, I think a lot of people think huge picture and Google Glasses and things like that. For me, it's the basic things. It's just tying things like that together.